Hi, good evening, everybody. This is GCSE Triple Science, and I'm Mrs. McGrath. I'm the head of science at Copley Academy. So I'm just going to go through today a little bit of information about the course and why it is a really, really good subject to opt for. So this GCSE is three separate GCSEs. It's biology, chemistry, and physics. Now, it's really important to note that you can't just do one of them. You can't just do biology or just do physics or just do chemistry. You have to do all three, and you end up with three separate science GCSEs. Now, what I've done here is I've hyperlinked a link to the specification. So when you, this presentation is going to be saved on the Teams page. So if you want to go and have a look at that information, you are going to be able to see exactly what is covered in biology, chemistry, and physics over the duration of the course. So why you're going to have 13 hours of science across a fortnight. So currently year 9 have 7. So you obviously get a lot more science time in your timetable. And that's because you're having the three separate sciences. You go into a lot more detail. It's a really, so I was just about to say then, why choose triple science? Well, it's a really challenging and thought-provoking course. It's perfect for students who enjoy science and are looking at science-based jobs in the future. Now, you might not think your job is going to be science-based, but believe me, a lot of jobs actually use a lot of science and things you might not realise as well. So, for example, beauty therapy. A lot of beauticians are now training in medical aesthetics to be able to, for example, administer Botox injections. That involves science. Being an electrician involves science. So lots of careers do involve science. I'll just talk a little bit more about that later. So how is it different to combined science? It's different to combined science because it's taught as three separate subjects, not as a combined course. So you will have very distinct biology lessons, chemistry lessons, physics lessons. Each exam will be 1 hour 45 minutes rather than 1 hour 10 minutes, like combined is. And you can choose to do either foundation or higher in each one. So with combined science, you're awarded 2 GCSE grades, and you either do the foundation paper for all those exams or the higher paper. You can't pick and choose between the biology, chemistry, and the physics. With triple science, you can decide, for example, if you're better at physics, you will say, right, I will do a higher paper physics, and maybe biology is my weaker area, so I'll do foundation biology. And that's a really good thing about the triple science course. The biggest difference between combined and triple science is you go into much more detail. So, for example, in combined science, you learn about the nervous system, but in triple science, you also learn about the brain, the eye, and the spinal cord and spinal cord injuries. Okay. So, is triple science right for you? So if you are thinking about doing science A levels or doing any of the following careers, so medicine, being a vet, nursing, midwifery, research, dentist, electricians, going into beauty therapy, all these different things are perfect for you to do triple science. Or do you just love science? So if you really like science and you really enjoy learning about science, then it really, really is a good course for you. And remember that this course will allow you to get 3 science GCSEs, 3 really good GCSEs that each graded separately. and you're going to get a really, really good understanding of biology, chemistry, and physics. This is Shannon Brooks. Now, Shannon's actually year 11 now, and this is what she said about triple science. So when I found out that triple science was an option that I could take, I knew straight away that I wanted to do it. It's a really good option if you're interested in science, and especially if you want a career within the science industry. The lessons are always extremely interesting, and I've learned so much useful information that I genuinely enjoy learning about. The work is challenging and pushes me. However, I think the effort that I have to put into my lessons is worth it. For me, picking triple science was the best choice that I made when choosing my options. If you're willing to work hard, it's definitely a great option to pick. And so finally, is there any questions from anybody?
There's nothing in the chat yet, Miss McGrath.
Yeah, I'm just looking now. Anybody's got anything they want to ask? Have a think about it. Come and see me at any point. You know where I am, in room 26 or the science prep room, and I'm more than happy to answer any questions that you have. It's really good to see you all. That's a really good question. So what grade do you need to be at for it? Ideally, you need to be working at around a grade. I would say students who are kind of on a grade 4 now, realistically should be thinking about triple science. Yeah, with an estimated grade of a 4-5, if you've got a target grade range above target, above 4, then you can do triple science. Yes, you do, Summer. Triple science would be a great GCSE course for if you're wanting to go into nursing. Definitely. Because you do a lot more about the human body, a lot more detail about so for example, you learn about the brain in triple science, whereas with combined science, you don't. Any more questions? Some really good questions that come up there. So I'm looking for some, people. Obviously, this is a difficult course. It's not an easy course. So you absolutely need it to be a dentist. Yeah, any kind of, if you're going down the A level route, if you're thinking about anything that's going to need science A levels and a science related degree, you're much better to do triple science. You'll find science A levels much easier if you've taken triple science and if you've done combined. Hi, Rossi. Like I say, anything you want to talk about, if you want me to show you a sample lesson, or you want me to go through the different parts of the course with you in any more detail, I'm more than happy to do that. Just waiting now. Is there any more questions?
I think that might be it, Mrs. McGrath. Thanks very much. Oh, there's one more.
Yeah. So triple science can be used for any form of healthcare, right? Or is it just certain? Yeah, it's any kind of healthcare. Absolutely. Yeah, any kind of healthcare. Yeah. And if some of you are thinking, oh well, I'm better at biology or I'm better at physics, and you're a bit worried about one of the sciences, like I say, you can decide to do the foundation paper in one of them or all of them, and maybe the higher paper in one that you're really good at, or all higher. It's totally up to you, or how you're performing when you're doing the course. Depends what tier paper you actually end up doing. It is quite a bit harder. It's not, I wouldn't say it was, unreasonably harder. than combined, because combined's a lot harder than it was as well. So both science courses have got more challenging in terms of the content, but I think triple science is more interesting because it just goes into that little bit more detail and more relevant things come up. I think that's pretty much it, isn't it, sir?
Yeah, I think so. Any more questions, you can always ask us in the academy tomorrow or over the next week too.
Brilliant. Well, thank you so much for joining me, everybody. And I will see you in school tomorrow.